keeping the ball on the ground. Still timing the ball, using both hands now, especially my bottom hand though, to make sure the ball goes along the ground. Okay guys, all together, let's go. Well done. Not too hard. 2 hands, keeping the ball on the ground now, all right? Well done. Right, let's remember the key points in the drives all around the wicket. First important point is, as you pick your hands up, the hands must go back so you see a little bit of a shoulder turn in order to get maximum power into the shot. The next point is to get beside the ball and not in front of it. If you get beside the ball, you have room in which to hit it. The third point is, as the hands come through, the weight must transfer so that your hip weight is right up above your front foot and over the ball, so your head is right underneath the ball. So as you hit, you're making absolute perfect contact there. Bat straight, and then follow through with your arms as straight as possible to stay on line with the ball. You can finish here in what is called a stop drive, or you can follow through at the end, keeping your hands straight in a follow-through drive perfected by the great Sir Leonard Hutton. So again, make sure you follow through and get the weight correct. So that's a straight drive. That applies with slight variation to the drive through the covers. Watch again, same back lift, the turn, watch the rotation of the shoulders and hit the ball through the covers. Obviously there's an element of danger here because your bat on contact is only half a bat and you can get caught at slip. So it's important to remember that. The on drive, one of the hardest shots in cricket to play. Not really if you apply the same principles. Again, pick your bat up high, get the foot out of the way and follow through along your shoulder line. Again, the hands going right the way through the ball and not working across it. Make sure you go all the way through and you'll really will enjoy driving the ball for 4. I'd like to highlight the following points when you come down the wicket to change a bowler's length. Okay, it's important to remember that when you come down a long way and not just a short way. In other words, your first stride must be a full one. So as I come down, make a full first stride of my front foot there and take my shoulder towards the ball where it's going to pitch, or where at least I hope it's going to pitch. Slide my back foot behind in order to keep my head level and give myself a little bit more room to go through. If I keep my foot a little bit further back, I don't get as far as I should do. Then I come down finally with the final stride, turn the shoulder and hit the ball for 4. And if I can't get there, for example, if I'm a little bit short, then I've got to stop and just play the ball back. I mustn't be caught out and get stumped if I'm not to the pitch of the ball. Let's go through that again. Let's remember, nice high back lift, get down the wicket, good first stride, chassis behind, second good stride, turn the shoulder to get the shot in and hit the ball for 4. I can hit the ball for 6 if I want. I've got to lean back to do it and I've got to go there, but my hands must continue and extend right the way through the shot so the ball goes over the boundary. I'll just show you that a little again. Picking the bat up, big step down, chassis behind and drive the ball for 4. It's often said that the sign of a really good player is how well he hits the ball off the back foot. Now Gary Kirsten has demonstrated a few of these, and let's see him do it and we'll break the shot down. Okay Gary, pick your bat up, get across, into line with the ball, turn the shoulder to get the power and hit through the line of the ball with your hands at the same time getting up onto the toe of the left foot. With the current cost of cricket equipment today, it's very important to make sure that you look after your gear properly. And with us today we have Gary Kirsten, who is going to show us exactly what he has in his cricket case. Welcome, Gary.
Hi, Bob.
Right, the first thing on the table here we've got is something new to me. What do you use these for, Gary?
Yeah, this is the shin guard that I use to field at short leg. You can see it is adjustable, and sometimes you can use this section to cover your knees as well. Also, for the taller players fielding at short leg, it can cover their whole shin area.
Now your batting gloves. I see that you've got good protection on the bottom hand, obviously for the bouncing delivery. How many pairs would you have in your bag?
Yeah, I usually have about 3 or 4 pairs in my bag, but it differs with batters. Some batters only need 2 or 3 pairs the whole season, but I like to keep about 3 or 4 pairs in.
Right. So it's an expensive piece of equipment. And remember, we dry those, keep them dry as much as possible by keeping them upturned in the sun when you're using them. And when the palms go, just remember you're going to have to, unfortunately, buy a new pair unless you can get someone to fix them. Right, let's have a look at the next next piece of equipment, a pair of pads, Gary. These are very important for you. I remember when they used to have buckles here.
Yeah, these days, as you can see, they have the straps on. It just makes it easier to put the pads on. But you'll find also with the pads these days, you don't need to clean them too much, fortunately, and you just have to wash them, which is very important, obviously.
Do you have any preference to which straps you put on first?
Yeah, I think it's just more a superstitious thing than anything, Bob. I like to put the bottom one on first and then move up to the top. And I usually put the right-hand pad on first.
Right, that's interesting. Okay, now I see we've got a pair of specially made cricket boots here. These basically are trainers, and you've had them adapted. Any reason for this?
Yeah, I think more just for comfort than anything else. You'll find a lot of the cricketers today are using cross trainers. I think they're just a little bit softer on the feet and makes it more comfortable during the course of the day.
It's interesting, yeah. I can remember my feet barking at the end of a day. Right, and here we have a very important piece of equipment, at least I found it when I was younger, thigh pad.
Yeah, this is very important piece. Obviously, I remember one day in the nets to Alan Donald, and I forgot to put my thigh pad on, and I really felt it. So, very important piece of equipment.
Maybe it's a nasty place to get a bruise, I can tell you. Right, now onto the helmet, and this is important for a variety of reasons. And I see you have a headband to go with it, Gary.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I find I need to use this quite a lot because I don't have too much hair on the top of my head, and there's a lot of sweat. And obviously, the helmet, the most important item in your cricket case.
Yes, and obviously you need to keep the strap on, guys, because if you've got the helmet on, okay, and you don't have the strap, the ball can knock it off and fall onto your stumps, and that's not so good. So we just need to remember, keep that strap on. And the other reason you wear a helmet today is that if you get injured, you're going to miss out on a lot of cricket. So that's important. Okay, well, Gary, we've got another piece of equipment here, and what do you use this for?
For those of you who don't know, this is probably also one of the most important parts of the cricketing equipment, and for me, certainly, I haven't got to the stage where I've had children yet, so very important. You don't want to get hit in the wrong area and you're suffering for the rest of your life.
Very important as you get older to wear this, guys. Don't forget that. Okay, well, that's good. And obviously, finally, the case to put it in, Gary.
Yeah, a lot of guys don't enjoy the cricket case. We call it the coffin. Some guys have ones that are really big and very difficult to carry around. But very important, and try to get as much as you can in here.
Right, and then finally, we move on to the cricket bat. Now, Gary, do you have any preference of weight to use?
Yeah, I think, again, this is a personal preference. I like a 2 pound 8 ounce, 2 pound 9 ounce weight. And a lot of guys like heavier bats, but I think these days more and more the guys are going for the lighter bats.
Right, and also when you're choosing a bat, guys, just make sure that the grains are nicely knit together, a nice piece of wood. Bounce the ball on it just to make sure that the wood is soft and it's not too hard. And enjoy your cricket. Look after your equipment, it's very important. View the tremendous cost of a cricket bat these days. It's very important for amateur cricketers to look after their bat properly. Here I have a new bat, and you'll see that it hasn't been touched at all. And basically what we need to do here is actually just put linseed oil on it to give it a nice binding to make sure that the bat doesn't crack before you use it. Now don't put too much oil on, just a little dab on there, and then using your fingers, just apply the oil gently right across the surface, right the way down, along the edges, all the parts that you're going to use, Remember, you bought the bat, you're allowed to use all of it, and just get it in there nice and easy, okay? Let it go in there, and then just leave it down to dry. And here we have the slightly older bat.